Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the new meta, where we use the most effective tactic available to teach you guys new strategies. Today we're going to be teaching you high converting video title formulas out of my YouTube algorithm accelerator book. I'm not going to be teaching you 50 titles, but I'll probably show you guys 20, 25 or so. Let's get started. Today's presentation is about high converting video title formulas, your guide to crafting irresistible YouTube titles, a resource from the YouTube Algorithm Accelerator ebook. Why do titles matter? Your title is 50% of the reason someone clicks on your video. A great title stops the scroller and grabs their attention. A great title also makes a clear promise of value. Another thing a great title does is creates curiosity, makes the viewers need to know more. When they see that title, it intrigues them. It connects with them. They say, "Oh, you know what? That's a pain point of mine. That's a pain point that I'm dealing with. That title touched something in me." The title is half of the reason that someone would even click on the video. Half. So you already done solved half of your problem with the algorithm by just creating a great title. Let's explore the formulas that work. Category 1. This category is the formulas that I call the how-to formulas and guide formulas. You know, like when you start off your video in the title, it says how to uh learn the YouTube algorithm in 30 days, something like that. You want to start the how to. So let's get into the presentation. Category number 1, the how to and guide formulas. These are best for educational and tutorial content. So if you're trying to make educational content or tutorial content, these formulas are good for you. So the ultimate guide to formula. So you would use in your title, you would say the ultimate guide to whatever you're teaching, whatever your niche is, whatever your topic is, whatever your activity is. So let's just create one. The ultimate guide to learning the YouTube algorithm. You see how that works? That's a guide formula. And now let's move into the how to. And then it says how to achieve the desired outcome in a certain time frame. That's how that formula is structured. So let me show you an example. How to achieve the desired outcome, which is learn the YouTube algorithm in a time frame, which is 30 days. How to learn the YouTube algorithm in 30 days. You see how that works? So you would use your niche. Let's say your niche is exercise. You just want to show somebody how to do abs. So you would say how to achieve perfect abs in time frame, which would be whatever the time frame is that you can achieve the required results. So it would be how to achieve perfect abs in 30 days. You see how that works? That is called the how to formula. These are titles that you use and guide formulas that you can use that will get you great results in the YouTube algorithm. Let's go over another formula, another how to. But it's not really how to, it's how I achieve a specific result step by step. That's another formula. That's another way. I have like maybe 5 or 6 more formulas in this category, but those are in the ebook. So let me give you an example of the how I achieve the specific result, how I mastered the YouTube algorithm step by step. So I will put in my title how I was able to master the YouTube algorithm in 30 days, step by step. I just added that the time frame in there. But if you want to stick to the script, it's just how I achieve a specific goal in a step by step method. So let's move on to category 2. Now, category 2, this is the mistake and warning formulas. This is best for building authority and preventing audience pain points. So what does that mean? Let's say, let me give you an example. The number, give a number, let's just say 30. Biggest mistakes you using your audience make. So let's just say, let me give you an example. The 10, put the number, 10 biggest mistakes YouTubers make when trying to get into the algorithm. That's a that's a mistake formula. Let's put the number one biggest mistakes YouTube YouTube creators make. Period. You can just leave it at that. Or let's just say the top 10 biggest mistakes YouTubers make. You know that's what I'm using for my example. Let's continue on to the warning formulas. Just like giving a warning. These are all titles, guys. Remember, these are titles that we're making to get into the algorithm. This is what the algorithm likes. Stop doing this on YouTube, and then add in a common mistake like stop doing this on YouTube. So I would say stop doing this on YouTube, and you add the common mistake, which is not having a thumbnail on your videos. Bang. You know what I mean? So it's like you're giving a warning. Like without a thumbnail and without a title, that's 50% of your audience that you're losing. So you would tell them, stop doing this on YouTube because the common mistake is, and then you explain yourself. Let's move on. This is a mistake formula. Why your whatever it is, your thing isn't working and how to fix it. So let's just say why your YouTube channel isn't working in the algorithm, and this is what you should do to fix it. You see how that is? So we're giving them a warning. This is why your thing isn't working. And then we're adding in how to fix it. So these are just a couple formulas out of my category 2, out of the YouTube algorithm accelerator book. Let's move on. Category 3, the listicle and best of formulas. This is best for skimmable, high value, and shared content. So let's just go on to an example. The number one, add a number, essential tools for, and then the activity. So let's just say 10 essential tools for the activity, which is getting into the YouTube algorithm. So you would say 10 essential tools for getting into the YouTube algorithm. That's my activity, and that's the number I will put. You can add your number what you want to add, and you can add your activity by your niche. Okay, let's get into my top 10 items for the year. So you would put my 10 item, which would be YouTube algorithm formulas for the year. You see that? My top 10, the number, which is 10, the item, which is YouTube algorithm formulas, and then for 2025, the year. So my top 10 YouTube algorithm formulas for 2025. That's how you will write that out. Okay, let's continue on. Another number plus the thing I wish I knew before the event. That's a nice formula. So I'll put 10 things I wish I knew before starting the event, which is YouTube. So I will put 10, the number, the things I wish I knew, and then the event, which is starting YouTube. So 10 things I wish I knew before starting YouTube. That's how you use those formulas. Let's continue on to the next category. Category 4, the secret and hack formulas. Now, these are best for creating high levels of intrigue and promise, and a promising shortcut. So it's like you have a secret, it's like you're gatekeeping, or it's like you have a hack, you know, something, a method. So let's just move on to the formulas. The secret to achieving a desired outcome, which is mastering the YouTube algorithm. So the secret to achieving the desired outcome, which is mastering the YouTube algorithm. That's what I'm gonna put there. The secret to mastering the YouTube algorithm. That's the formula title I will use. This one trick changed how I was able to get into the YouTube algorithm. This one trick changed how I include the activity that you do. So if you sell cars, this one trick changed how I sold cars at the dealership. This one trick changed how I taught students this formula. See? Let's move on to the next formula. It's a hack. The easiest way to get into the YouTube algorithm. See how that is? It's like you're telling them a secret. You're giving them a formula, or you put the easiest way to do a difficult task. So whatever your task is that you wanna show is easy to do, you include there. Let's move on to the next category. Category 5. I call this the verse and comparison formulas. This is best for helping viewers make a decision and targeting search traffic. So we have product A versus product B, which is better. That's the versus formula. So you can say product A, you can say uh the YouTube algorithm formula guide versus no, let me back that up. Let me see. Product A. We just say Pepsi versus Coca-Cola, which is better. So I'm just going to give you something simple. That's how you use the verse formula. So method, okay, and then you have the method versus method one versus method two, the ultimate showdown. It's like a comparison, but that's like, pardon me, that's like another verse formula, but you're changing the wording. So you have a product A versus product B formula. That's the versus formula, which is better. Then you have another verse formula that you can switch it up and you can say method one versus method two, the ultimate showdown. And then let's go into the comparison formula. Is butter let's just say, is the expensive option worth it over the cheap option? So let's give you an example. Is Grey Poupon worth it over mustard? Something like that. What's an expensive option worth it over a cheap option? So those are some of the formulas that I created. Let's move on. Category 6, the review and impression formulas. This is best for product focused channels and building trust. So if you're selling a product on your channel, or you're trying to build up your channel to where someone like, know, and trust you, then these formulas are for you. The product name, and then review, brutally honest thoughts. So let's just say, for example, the YouTube algorithm accelerator review, and then give me your brutal honest thoughts. You're giving a review on my ebook, on my product. Okay, and then that we have impression formulas. My first impression of the YouTube accelerator algorithm ebook was blah blah blah. So, and then we going on to the next formula. Is the product name worth the hype in the year? So, is the product name, which my product is the YouTube Accelerator ebook, worth the hype in 2025? That's the year. That's how you use that formula. Let's move on. Category 7, the question based formulas. Best for tackling common doubts and creating curiosity driven narratives. So, this question based formula is just like, you want to tackle some doubts and you want to create curiosity when on a narrative. So, is popular belief actually true? So, is whatever popular belief is being honest better than lying actually true by popular belief? So whatever a popular belief is, that's how you ask a question based formula. And then we have, can you really achieve something incredible? So, can you really master the YouTube algorithm? What happens if you try something unusual? Question based formula. So let's fill that in. What happens if you try to use the YouTube Accelerator book from beginning to end and see if it works? What happens? See how that goes? Question based formula. Let's move on to the next category. Category 8, the story and experience formulas. Now, these are best for building a personal connection with your audience. You use these type of formulas. The story of how I achieved a major goal. So you're telling a story to your audience. That's the title form that you would use in this. So let me show you how you fill it in. The story of how I was able to master the YouTube algorithm. That's a achieve major goal. That's how you would use that formula. Okay, let's just go on to the next one. This is an experience formula. My journey from point A to point B. So let's just say my journey from no subscribers, which is point A, to 100,000 subscribers, which is point B. You see that? So you can add in your point A in your own point B into the formula. Okay, let's move on to the next formula. What I've learned from a significant experience. So that's what you would fill in right there to the formula. So, what I learned from using the YouTube Accelerator algorithm ebook. You see how you fill that in there? That's an experience. Okay, let's move on to the next formula. A day in the life of a your role slash profession. That's what you would fill in to that formula. So let's just say a day in the life of a YouTuber with 100,000 subscribers. That's what you would fill in there, something like that. Okay, guys, I'm not going to break down the whole YouTube Accelerator formula book. These are just some categories that I wanted to share with you guys to get you guys started, to get you guys on your way, so you can have some high converting YouTube video algorithm title for your channel. This right here, like I said, 50% of the algorithm is the title. So you've already conquered 50% of getting into the algorithm just by converting these video title formulas on your YouTube page. Let's continue on. I'm gonna close out here. Okay, so I want you guys to put all this into action. And what does that look like? Okay, number one, choose a formula. Pick one category that fits your next video idea. Number two, brainstorm 5 titles. Write 5 different versions of your title using the formula. A third way to put this into action is to give feedback. Ask a friend or colleague which title makes them want to click most on the video. And a fourth way to put these formulas into action is to test and analyze them. Use the title and check your video's click rate after a few days. Learn and repeat. So if you guys like this type of content, if you like this type of education, you like this type of content, please like, share, subscribe, share this with someone who you think would be able to use it, and subscribe and come back for more. I'll be doing these regular. I'll be doing these type of presentations regular on different type of educational strategies. So thank you for joining the new meta, which is mastering entrepreneurship through action by using the most effective tactic available, which is these business strategies that we teach. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to the high converting video title formulas from the new meta. Thank you guys. Have a good day. Take care.